The time is 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dilini Gunawardana and read by Tilani Pires. The headlines. The President holds talks with the Japanese Prime Minister. The government spends 10 billion rupees on urea fertilizer. The central bank governor emphasizes that decisive measures have been taken to curtail and prevent inflation. The principals are instructed to hand over the GC O-level admission cards to the candidates immediately. Pakistan offers scholarships to 131 Sri Lankan students. And on international news, magnitude 6.6 earthquake strikes just off the border between Panama and Colombia. And on sports news, tennis, French Open 2023 draw Novak Djokovic is in same half as Carlos Alcaraz. The President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed his regret to the Japanese government for the suspension of the Colombo Light Rail Transit project, which was being implemented with Japanese support. During the official meeting in Tokyo this morning between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, the President emphasized the need for future legislation in the Parliament to ensure that bilateral large-scale projects cannot be halted or cancelled without the agreement of both parties. The Prime Minister of Japan warmly received President Ranil Wickremesinghe and bilateral talks commenced after a friendly conversation between the two leaders. President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed his gratitude to Japan for its support in helping Sri Lanka recover from its economic crisis, thanking the Japanese Prime Minister for his assistance. The leaders also discussed new opportunities to enhance cooperation between Japan and Sri Lanka. Taking part in a press conference today, Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that a program is underway to provide the fertilizer necessary for agriculture. The President has instructed the authorities to provide the necessary grants to provide concessions to the farmers. 24,500 metric tons of urea fertilizer needed for the Yalla season has been distributed across the country. Approximately the private sector has a stock of 9,000 metric tons of urea fertilizer. The minister added that the government has spent 10 billion rupees on concession vouchers for fertilizer. The Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, says that although collective policy measures are painful for businesses and households, such measures are imperative to prevent devastating impacts of the soaring inflation and to restore economic conditions that are essential for economic stakeholders. Speaking at the National Policy Symposium for Promoting Investments and Entrepreneurship in Sri Lanka in Colombo this morning, he mentioned that the recent economic crisis resulted in numerous uncertainties and instability in the country, which directly affected investments and business sentiments. The central bank chief said the central bank recognized the need to restore price stability interest of low inflation to ensure macroeconomic stability. It was further noted that it is the key objective to decisive measures to control the rising inflation and also balance of payments. Speaking further, Dr. Veerasinghe stated that two of the issues that the country had were the rise in inflation and the foreign exchange crisis, noting that the central bank has taken very decisive measures to curtail and prevent inflation from rising further. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Education Ministry announced that the 2022 GCE Ordinary Level Examination admission cards should not be withheld by the principals without handing over them to the candidates under any circumstances. The ministry further said the announcement was made due to information received that admission cards of school candidates were being withheld by principals till the candidates settled their facility service or other fees. Therefore, the ministry today advised all principals to issue the admission cards to all the candidates immediately. Meanwhile, the Commissioner General of Examinations, HJMC Amis Jasundara, said if a candidate is unable to sit for the examination due to not getting the admission card, then the respective principal should bear the full responsibility. The Pakistan High Commission Colombo organized the Jinnah Scholarship Ceremony at the Bandaranayake Memorial International Conference Hall to award scholarships to bright and deserving A-level students of Sri Lanka. These scholarships have been awarded by the Government of Pakistan to Sri Lankan students of A-level since 2006. So far, more than 2,400 Sri Lankan students have benefited from this program named after Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the revered founding father of Pakistan. Vidura Wickramanayake, Minister of Buddha Shasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, graced the occasion as chief guest and highly appreciated the gracious gesture from Pakistan. He added that such efforts will be very fruitful in strengthening bilateral relations between the two friendly countries. That ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Citing the recent unlawful incidents, those reported about the fate of several unfortunate teenage children, the State Minister of Defence, Honourable Pramitha Bandara Tennakon, stated that plans are afoot to set up social intelligence unit especially to safeguard children and the young. Joining the Parliament debate held today, he highlighted the need of a special program to safeguard the future generation of the country. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight tonight, the Gampaha District Secretariat warned that the spread of dengue in the Gampaha district could reach alarming levels in the next few months. According to the data released by the National Dengue Control Unit, the highest number of dengue cases is reported from the Gampaha district, which is 22% of the total number of dengue cases. Currently, the number of dengue patients reported in the country stand at 36,911. That came to you in Watchlight. Moving on with world news and the headlines first. Magnitude 6.6 earthquake strikes just off the border between Panama and Colombia. Chinese hackers hit key US bases on Guam. India's opposition to boycott new parliament inauguration by Modi. A strong earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.6 struck Wednesday night in the Caribbean Sea just off the Panama-Colombia border. There was no immediate word on whether there were any injuries or damage in the nearby areas, which are not densely populated. The quake was centered about 41 kilometers northeast of Puerto Obladia, Panama. An aftershock with a magnitude of 4.9 followed about 10 minutes after the original quake. Microsoft and Western spy agencies say Chinese hackers used stealthy malware to attack critical infrastructure on American military bases in Guam. Experts say it's one of the largest known cyber espionage campaigns against the US. A key US military outpost, Guam's ports and air bases would be crucial to any Western response to a conflict in Asia. Beijing has called the Microsoft report highly unprofessional and disinformation. On Sunday, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate a new parliament building in the capital New Delhi, a decision that has led to at least 19 opposition parties announcing their plans to boycott the event. In a joint statement, the national and regional parties yesterday said India's President Draupadi Murmu should open the new parliament and have accused Modi of sidelining the country's first tribal head of state. The Indian President is an indirectly elected non-party executive with only ceremonial powers, but is the highest constitutional authority. Back to the world news headlines. Magnitude 6.6 earthquake strikes just off the border between Panama and Colombia. Chinese hackers hit key US bases in Guam. India's opposition to boycott new parliament inauguration by Modi. That ends world news.
Development news.
The Embassy of Sri Lanka in Iran celebrated the International Tea Day in Tehran recently together with the mobile promotion event of Ceylon Tea. The event was arranged in collaboration with the Sri Lanka Tea Board, an Iranian tea research and development expert, and social media activist Hassan Afsari. The function focused to raise public awareness and popularize Ceylon tea among tea consumers in Iran, enabling Sri Lanka to expand the Ceylon tea market in West Asia. That came to you in development news. Coming up, sports news. Novak Djokovic has been drawn in the same half of the French Open men's singles draw as Carlos Alcaraz, meaning the pair could meet in the semi-finals. World number one Alcaraz, playing his first major as a Grand Slam champion, starts against a qualifier. Djokovic is seeded third as he goes for a record 23rd men's major title and plays American Alexander Kovacevic. That ends sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න
NSB Itru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Sri Lanka Insurance recorded a stellar performance in 2022 to record a profit before taxation of 12.47 billion rupees for the year 2022 with a combined gross written premium of 41.2 billion rupees. Sri Lanka Insurance was able to increase the asset base to 274 billion rupees and the life fund to 156.7 billion rupees to uphold the position as the largest and strongest insurer in the country. In the year 2022, Sri Lanka Insurance recorded a life insurance premium volume of 20.9 billion rupees. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekata menna.
The all-new NSB Itru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Moving on with economic news, President Ranil Wickremesinghe took the stage at the Nike Forum Future of Asia held in Tokyo, Japan today. Addressing his address, President emphasized the government's approach to the Indian Ocean and Asia-Pacific regions. He further acknowledged the diverse nature of Asia as a contributing factor to the region's economic growth, establishing it as a significant global player. That ends economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Weather report.
Several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. A few showers will occur in the northwestern province and in Mannar and Jaffna districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the eastern and Nuva provinces during the evening or night. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The President holds talks with the Japanese Prime Minister. The government spends 10 billion rupees on urea fertilizer. The central bank governor emphasizes that decisive measures have been taken to curtail and prevent inflation. The principals are instructed to hand over the GC O-level admission cards to the candidates immediately. Pakistan offers scholarships to 131 Sri Lankan students. And on international news, magnitude 6.6 earthquake strikes just off the border between Panama and Colombia. And on sports news, tennis, French Open 2023 draw, Novak Djokovic is in same half as Carlos Alcaraz. That ends this news broadcast.